All right, so we're leaving that sale right there. Turned out pretty good. Let me back up here. We got a PS2, we got some games, some vintage bowling patches, controllers. So not a bad deal. I think it's 27 bucks for the whole thing. All right, so you can see right there, we are leaving a community sale. This is the first of I don't know how many, so we're just gonna start hitting them up. So there it is. That is the last garage sale of the day. It's almost 11:30, so you know, as these things go on, the chances of finding some good stuff are gone. So we're gonna head home. If there's some sales on the way home, then we'll definitely stop. But man, I'm sweating. It is hot outside. I'm not gonna exaggerate. It's probably a million, billion, jillion degrees outside. It is very hot, very muggy. I've sweated through my t-shirt, so that probably smells good. Anyway, we're gonna get back to the game room. We're gonna do our pickup video, which is awesome. All right, two final stops. I took some DVDs to Maxine's Bargain Box. I love that place. Got some trade credit. NES Addict is stocking up on the Nintendo games this year. I've rediscovered my love with Nintendo this year. So NES Addict, I'm coming for your ass. All right, so I'll show you guys these pickups, not video game related, but they are really cool. Got like 14 bags of Micro Machines out of garage sale. I did the unboxing or unveiling of those on my toy channel, The Toy Freaks. I'll leave a link down below. You want to check out these awesome Micro Machines, man. They're in pretty good condition for being thrown in a box, you know what I mean? But they've all been individually bagged and tagged. This is what I do with my Micro Machines. So we've got the Blue Showy Cobra Deluxe. I put a little piece of paper in there that says, you know, exactly what it is, what year it's from, all of that. So if you want to check out that Micro Machine haul, make sure you check out the Toy Freaks. So we stopped by a Goodwill. Always check the CD section and stuff like this. You know, there's no barcode on the back. So somebody that's lazy won't type this in, but if you type this in, songs for Ritsuko Okazaki, there's a Japanese version and like an English version. It's some anime. It's a soundtrack for the anime. That's not the important part, but you know, for $2, we got that listed on our eBay store for 15 bucks, and I'm sure it's something that somebody looked over or didn't bother to look up because there was no barcode. We're so barcode dependent. This is a really cool find. Suikoden Tactics, the limited edition soundtrack for Suikoden Tactics on PS2. This is a soundtrack that came with the game. So there's definitely going to be somebody out there that needs that. Then I found this, another all 12 episodes on 3-disc complete collection. I don't know anything about this, but I was looking at comps and it was like 110, 120, 30, 40, 50. I don't care about this. I paid $2 for it. I threw it up on my eBay store for $79.99 and somebody bought it. Now it's only been up there for like a week and a half. So I just undercut everybody else to make a quick sale. And you know, that's definitely enough profit for me. I'm happy with that sale. But always, it's not gonna stay, but always keep your eyes out for stuff like that, you know. Went to a different Goodwill, found Cocoon on DVD. I don't know why Cocoon 2, and Cocoon 1 and 2, the DVD combo pack, why it sells so well. Did it not go over to Blu-ray or something like that? I don't know. I never see it streaming, so I'm assuming that this is like the last way that you could get your Cocoon movies if you wanted to watch them on DVD. You could, you know, VHS or something, but I don't know. Maybe it just didn't come out on Blu-ray. I don't know that much about it, but I do know that these things sell for between 15 and 25 bucks. And anytime you see it, even if it's loose disc, definitely pick it up. The last thing, we're gonna watch this and then we are going to probably flip it. The Jim Varney triple pack. Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Scared Stupid, and Ernest Goes to Jail. Again, like another $15 to $25 DVD. I think I've had this once before and I sold it, but yeah, we'll watch those and then we will flip that. That is the non-game related stuff that we picked up so far. All right, so here we go, man. Look, I got a chair. I got like games on the show. I wanted to feature the Sega stuff. Sega doesn't get a lot of love, right? But yeah, man, sometimes you can't pick the games to go on the shelf. The games got to pick themselves, you know what I'm saying? And because I'm seeing like the windows back there, I'm thinking about moving this whole thing over to that wall. I don't know, I'll probably get lazy and just leave it right here, but whatever. Anyway, crazy time of year with the garage sales and the games and the toys and everything else. All this stuff needs to be cleaned and listed, you know? So it's very, very busy. But so for first garage sale, man, you cannot be any happier. First garage sale of the day, you stop. 27 bucks, you get a PS2 and a whole big box of stuff. So let's just take a look at some of the other stuff, and I'll show you some of the better stuff that came out of the box. So here's the controllers out of the box. Not very exciting. This Yobu is like all messed up. These Pelicans are actually decent controllers, if you ever find one. PlayStation 1 with the non-DualShock. Now these guys will need to be cleaned. Xbox controller. Nice to see an original Xbox controller. It's very nice shape. Thumbsticks are snappy. It's missing the detach cable. Some PC controllers. I don't know if anybody wants those. And looks like a Wii nunchuck. Definitely, in my opinion, the better part of the box. Here's the power adapter for the PS2. We got some really cool cables here. We got a battery pack for a 360. We're gonna keep that because we know that we find those all the time. Whatever that. Sega Genesis Model 1 cable. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Chargers, Xbox cables. This is really cool. It's a headphone adapter, headset adapter for Xbox, which is nice. About 20 bucks there. This is a TAC guitar dongle. It's about 20 bucks right there. Tested that it works. You see these at garage sales, make sure you pick them up because they're typically always undervalued. These are vintage patches. These happen to be bowling ones, but you know, you come across swimming ones and bicycle ones. These are really cool. 69 and 70. 67 and 68, league champs, 700 series, Budweiser, you know, all that stuff. These are always going to be undervalued at garage sales. I got this whole bag. She was like $1, and we're definitely going to make that back. There's people out there that love these things. They're easy to ship. They're going to go 4 ounce or less, and you don't have to worry about them breaking. So as a reseller, from a reselling angle, always pick up these patches. So we hit up another garage sale. These were $1, so we got Ernest Goes to Jail on VHS, Freak Show Cinema, Super Mario Brothers Super Show, Land Before Time. This is a triple movie pack. Unfortunately, it is sealed, but unfortunately, the discs have come out. And then we've got Metallica 1988 to 1997. Again, that's all good stuff to put on your eBay store. You know, you get them for $1. You put them up there for $5 or $6 plus media mail shipping, which is pretty cheap. People love that. He actually threw in this for free. It's a Shakespeare Batman logo. It's like a kid's tackle box. So again, for free, I'm gonna throw this up for probably like $5 plus shipping. I'll go first class shipping, and it might go. Probably won't go under 4 ounces with the box, but it'll definitely go under 8 ounces. So again, cheap shipping. I think I'm like one of the last people that actually collects video cassettes and audio cassettes. So when you see like the audio head cleaners and all that stuff for $1, definitely pick that up. So I picked this up for me. And then the last thing we got is a 3DS carrying case. Not bad condition, but again, $2. Something that I'll throw up on my eBay store for $8 or so, $9 maybe. And you can put this in a bubble mailer, won't break during shipping. So pretty quick ship, easy flip right there is what we like to see. All right, so, you know, the first thing, man, a PS2 Slim in there. Now, you know, I figured for 27 bucks, I knew those patches were in there. There's some other cool stuff, but I knew that, you know, these sell for 20 bucks, you know, for parts on eBay. So we weren't going to do too bad. It fires right up. I put the disc in and then it kind of stopped. It is dirty, will need to be cleaned. So I took the game out, you know, the professional cleaning there. Put the game back in, put Jack and Daxter back in, and it fired right up, no problem. So I'm gonna say that this is gonna just need some cleaning, some TLC, but yeah, definitely awesome to get a PS2, because I don't even know what those sell for nowadays, because I just come across so few of them in the wild. We got Nintendo 64 transfer pack. I was like, hey, you got any more Nintendo 64 stuff? She goes, that's all we have? Like, she didn't really know. So, but again, good score there for a Nintendo 64 transfer pack. I remember going to VGMX which is a game store in Newark, or not Newark, but in like Westerville. And they used to have a box of these things with the memory cards and the rumble packs. And you know, they were like all $5 or less. And it's like, go back in time and just buy them all. So I don't know if I'm gonna list this. I might have this ready for the trade show. So yeah. Always enjoy finding these. A DJ Hero dongle that will need to be cleaned, and then the Guitar Hero dongle. Yeah, these things still go for a little bit of money. This is for a drum set. All in the back, little drumsticks there. So those will need to be cleaned and listed. And then there were some games in there. We Play. Now I could have swore I had a case and manual for this. I can't find it. It's the only reason I picked it up, because I thought I was going to complete another copy, and that's great to bundle with consoles. You know what I mean? Guitar Hero World Tour. So again, more like filler title. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of an impulse thing. And then Minecraft Season 2 Story Mode, the Telltale series. So anything Minecraft, I just picked it up. I didn't even look at the condition of the disc. That's one of the things, when you have a disc resurfacer, you just sort of buy disc, and you need to check to make sure they're not cracked in the middle or all smudged up. Actually looks really good. So that's probably ready to be listed. So the next thing that we got, and before you guys comment, yes, that is Maggie Weston from Exo Squad. Remember, I got that in a bag of like, for $10 of a bunch of aliens and Exo Squad stuff. It's missing, she's supposed to have a gun. It's missing the gun. So if anybody has an extra gun for that, let me know. However, here we go. Another important announcement. I am now on Whatnot at CM Retro on Whatnot. So we will be holding live auctions and getting rid of, you know, some of this stuff around here, mostly common, but I think my first auction I'm going to do is going to be like 6th and 7th gen commons, all auction style. Nothing starts over $3 auction price, right? So if you guys want to be a part of the Whatnot community, it's pretty cool. You have to go through this sort of vetting process, application, online orientation to be a seller, but to be a buyer, you can just sign up for it. Now, I was watching an auction. Whiskey Music Radio. I think he does Twitch, but he was auctioning off a bunch of manuals. And we got Trolls on Treasure Island for Nintendo. Not a very common game, and this manual is not very common at all. So it was like 15 bucks, and when I signed up for Whatnot, I got a $10 credit. So it was like $5 out of pocket for like a $30 manual. So very, very awesome there. And we'll put that in our little manual case, which is amazing. But anyway, Whatnot, make sure that you sign up for that if you want to catch some of the auctions. We're going to do manual night, Lego minifigure night. So yeah, if that's something you're into, check it out. So I stopped by a pawn shop, you know, and they had some games, and there was a Post-it note. It said games $5, and there was another one, games $10, games $15, and they're all sort of sporadic. And I was like, well, are all the PS3 and Xbox 360 games $5, right? He's like, oh no, they're still priced and this and that. Okay. But you know, this is sort of a new pawn shop for me. So it's important to build a rapport. I always say relationships are important. So, you know, the first couple times you pay their price, you get to know them a little bit. They seem to be a little bit more into like the modern stuff, but they have like Super Nintendo games that are priced basically at eBay. So, you know, I'm not going to buy those, but building that rapport and eventually just get rid of it, everything for like $1 or $2, and then I'll just buy a big bundle. But, you know, you definitely want to build a rapport with those folks, and, you know, make sure you're stopping in there once every 3 or 4 weeks, buy a couple games, pay their price, that's okay. 20 bucks, we got 3 games, not really where I want to be, but the first game is about a $20 game, so it'll pay for all of them. Xbox 360 Dragon Ball Raging Blast. And is this no, it's a 2-disc, it's a 1-disc, but the manual is really thick. Very nice and clean. They had it for 10. I'm gonna throw it up on my eBay store for 20, and it'll pay for these 2. Call of Duty Black Ops 2, and Ratchet and Clank all for 1. So, you know, all in all, let's be realistic. I think it's about $40 worth of games here, maybe. So we'll double up, and like I said, build this rapport with these guys, because those relationships are definitely important. So you guys have been watching the overrated, underrated Nintendo games list, which is great. I love the support for those types of videos, because they're still like new for me. Like, I don't really make those types of videos, but I thought it'd be fun. And, I referenced two different charts. One was the IGN Top 100. IGN sort of this big thing. People know what that is. So there's some credibility to them, I guess. And the Top 100 NESgames.com, which seemed to be a more complete list when it came to how the games were evaluated. As it turns out, the guy that did the Top 100 NESgames.com website has a YouTube channel, and I want to shout him out because he's under 2,000 subs. Big Ole Words.
Check this shit out.
A few months ago, I made a video showcasing some of my NES collection, which is the main system I collect for. I have a bunch more video game related stuff in here, so I thought I'd also share a quickish video about my studio / game room / rarely used guest suite. If you haven't seen that NES video, I'll link to it in the description. For the last 6 years or so, our home has had a dedicated room for the game collection. When we renovated our current house, it came with this weird shack in the backyard. It was every house hunter's nightmare: old carpets, torn up pornos next to more than one Bible, rat shit everywhere. My wife wanted to demolish it, but I convinced her that I could turn it into something better one day. When she became pregnant last year, I finally saw my chance to turn the game room into a nursery, and that stinky claptrap into a dream. So here it is in all its tiny glory.
And I'll leave a link down below for sure. Make sure you check him out if you like Nintendo-related content. It's, Nintendo games no one ever heard of. Top 13 games that are like Zelda. What else we got here? NES games with sequel, alternate cover art, unlicensed bootleg games. Just PAL games. Like, he does a lot of really awesome Nintendo content. So make sure you check him out. Subscribe if Nintendo's your thing. Let him know CM Retro sent you, because I'd love to sort of build a relationship with this guy. See if he wants to come on one of the live streams and talk about how he put this top 100 NESgames.com thing together. Now, he does go into it a little bit on his show about this sort of amalgamated list where he had a spreadsheet and he assigned point values and things like that. It's very cool, but I'd love to get him on the live stream and we can actually talk about how he came up with that idea, that list, and maybe answer some of your questions. Anyway, I'll stop talking about it. Great channel. Check it out. So I was out with my daughter today. We were running around. We went to some Five Belows, which is one of her favorite stores. We stopped at a GameStop. I spent like $40 in trade credit. And I saw this on the shelf and I thought, okay, I'll get it. Because I'm going to live stream this probably tonight or tomorrow. Or next weekend maybe. Pocky and Rocky Reshined. Which, Pocky and Rocky games are always expensive. So the Super Nintendo games are expensive. The Game Boy Advance game's expensive. I think there was a Pocky and Rocky game on like PC Engine or TurboGrafx 16, which I'm 100% sure that's expensive. So to pick up a Pocky and Rocky title for $30 brand new at GameStop was very, very cool. Now, from what I understand, this is like a reimagining of the first game for the first 3 levels, and then it kind of breaks off into its own thing. So it'd be interesting to play, but for $30, Pocky and Rocky game, crazy. And by the way, I hate when you go to GameStop and it says new on it, and they've opened it. They've taken it out of the cellophane. So I know Smash JT watches, and I know he's like a big GameStop guy, like Mr. GameStop CEO. Tell your shitbird employees that when you take it out of the cellophane, it's not new. I'm gonna have to make a rant video now on this because it's kind of annoying. So like I said earlier in the video, I have a big box of DVDs, man. Nobody's watched a DVD in this house except for me when I like test or I'll watch like an Ernest collection or something, in years, because everybody streams, right? So I took my DVDs to Maxine's Bargain Box. Now, typically the rule is that if you are going to trade in like DVDs, CDs, cassette tapes, whatever, that they will give you a special trade credit slip, and you can only use that trade credit for media stuff, right? So you couldn't go to a garage sale. And this is what they're trying to prevent, and I get it. That you're gonna go to the garage sale, you're gonna spend $20 on like a box of 200 DVDs, take it into Maxine's, trade it in, buy consoles, and then sell it on Facebook Marketplace. That's not what they want, right? So that's why they try and keep like media, that type of media with media. But for me, he let me grab Nintendo games off the common shelf. Because it doesn't make sense. Like, I'm trading in my DVDs because nobody in my house watches or wants DVDs. Then you're going to give me credit for DVDs, which I don't even want them. So I kind of knew the rule, and I was prepared to go, here, kid, here's like $20 in trade credit. So what he did was he let me salt of the earth people over at Maxine's Bargain Box, man. I love that store. It's the best video game. I know I bang on about video game stores a lot and how they run their business, but Maxine's is really like the best store that I've ever been to. They're so fair. Like, you got $40 in trade credit. You got $43 worth of stuff. No problem. Just take it. You know what I mean? Like, they're like just salt of the earth, great people. They always have like inventory. Like, people always trade in stuff, and it's like the comics and the cards and the action figures and the comic book graded stuff. And it's like, it's just so much. That store sometimes is so overwhelming that I don't walk through the entire store every time I go in there, just because it's crazy. Anyway, great people. I love them. I actually took some more trade credit in a day. We'll get into that. But so for that, he gave me like 40 or he gave me like $50 trade credit. And he was like, yeah, let me get Nintendo games. So I am going for some specific Nintendo games. Obviously, I've only got 3 games left on my childhood NES list. You know, I'll just leave a list of that stuff in the pinned comment down below. So if you have some of that stuff and you want to trade for it or sell for it, we'll do the trade show, I guess, like September-ish. So make sure you bring it. But I'm not looking for every baseball game, every golf game, that kind of thing. I'm certainly not going to pay $3, $4, $5 for it. You know, if you get in a box of games and you sell everything off and those are kind of the leftovers and you don't have them, add them to the collection, whatever. But Jay, the NES addict, is he a friend of ours or a friend of mine? I don't know. I don't know that Italian speak. Friend of ours, friend of mine, forget about it. But he's like destroying his Nintendo games collection. He's like, I want to get to 350 games. Well, he's already passed 350 games this year. So good for you, Jay. I'm very happy. And I'm not keeping up with the Joneses, but I've rediscovered my love for the Nintendo. So I want to make sure that I get some of these really cool titles, the obscure stuff, the common stuff that everybody seems to like. So anyway, with our trade credit, we picked up these games. First game, not a lot of people talk about it, but when they do, they talk about it with some love. It's Hudson Soft. Is it Zegzels? So yeah, very cool to add that one to the collection. I saw this one, Demon Sword. I asked Mr. Matthews if he had it, because I think it's like Legend of Kage, right? It's kind of like that same style. But Demon Sword, very cool. We got Mighty Bomb Jack. Came with the manual, and we got the dust cover for it, which is cool, because you know those are worth about $200 each now. They're not, but people are asking crazy amount of money for those. A game that, you know, people like. Probably not my wheelhouse, but it is a Konami title, man. Russian Attack. So we're definitely going to give that one a try. We're playing Cobra Triangle right now. I want to kick that game in the mouth so bad. It's so brutal. Vic Tokai, man. Bump and Jump. Unbelievable. I don't ever see this game that much, and when I do, it's not like really in good condition. So yeah, definitely excited to try that one, because I don't really know anything about that game. And then a game that was on my list, so we'll scratch it off, is Cabal. I heard that this is a very good sort of remake of the arcade port. So very cool. Sort of like one of the first cover-based shooter type games, you know. And I can't believe how good some of these Milton Bradley games are. I'd have never guessed it. If you would have told me that 10 years ago, I'd have been like, you're full of shit. Milton Bradley sucks. They should stick to board games. But some of their Nintendo titles are pretty good. Well, like I said, we went to Maxine's. We traded a bunch of DVDs. I didn't want to take anything out of their really good Nintendo case, right? The collector's case. But I told him, I said, you know, I got all this like action figure stuff that's been sitting around for years. Things that I paid $1 for, you know, that aren't selling on my eBay store. Can I just bring it in? You can take a look at it. So I took some of it in. That Wii Rock Band thing that was here, I've had that thing for like 3 years. I took it in. They gave me like some sweet trade credit. They always hook it up for me there. And I love Maxine's Bargain Box, like I said. But I was there today, and they were tabulating all of my trade credit. And listen, I get this sometimes. I'm not famous. I'm not a celebrity or something. But somebody will ask me about like a video that I made, or hey, when's your next video coming out, kind of thing. And it always like, it kind of weirds me out. Like I'm not ready for it. But I met this guy, and I'm sure I met him before. I just don't remember his name. But he was there with like his wife and his kids. And his kid like got Horizon Zero Dawn for PS4, which was cool. And we were talking about Nintendo games, and he was like, he's over 300. So I think with this game, I'm at 299, which is crazy to think about. You know, when you're a kid, you're just so blessed to have all this stuff now. But he said he picked up the Guardian Legend. So dude, play that game. That's one of the best games on the Nintendo, and nobody talks about it. It's a shame. So I'm waiting for them to tabulate my trade credit. I talked to Dave. He's like, hey, this is what we're gonna give you. So I'm like, okay, which was I was expecting like 150, and they gave me like almost double that. So very cool. They're very generous. Maxine's is like the best. But because I traded in action figures and not DVDs, I decided I'll get something out of their case. So I had my eye on this, and it's definitely in one of those games that's on my list. So we crossed off 2 games, which is incredible. It is Womple. I don't know if you could get away with that cover art nowadays, but back in the 80s, it was okay, Anyway, Wampum is a platformer, right? So it's definitely in my wheelhouse, and I'm happy to add it to the collection because some of these Nintendo games, man, they just keep going up and up, and it's crazy. It's almost like there's no end to it. And I remember when this was like a $30 game, $30 or $40 game, and now it's starting to get in like that $50, $60 range. It's incredible. Last thing before we go, check this out. This is my official Linda the Gamer Girl Sega Genesis game holder with my copy of Sonic Spinball that I got from Bobby and Adam. So boom, look at that. Linda just doesn't give those to everybody. But I asked Dave, I asked Dave at Maxine's, I said, hey, do you have any of those bags that you put controllers in? The sealable bags. He's like, yeah. So he like hooked me up with like some different sizes, like Nintendo controller sizes, PS2 sizes. Because I got like a ton of NES controllers that I tested, they work, and I just kind of put them back in the box, which isn't good, you know what I mean? Put them in those bags, preserve them, keep them in good shape. So anyway, guys, that is gonna do it. What have you been picking up? Make sure that you leave a comment down below so I can read that. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share on social media because that does help out a lot. Bang that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of your CM Retro gaming goodness. Whew. Had a big one this week. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you on the next one.